I'm going to show you how to make the most delicious parsad, or as I grew up calling it, Mohanbhog. I have a special guest who is going to be making it step by step, and that is my mom, and this is how she does it. The first step is to warm the milk, and we're using evaporated milk and sweetened condensed milk as a sweetener, but you can also use whole milk and sugar. And I would recommend using the Guyana or Demerara brown sugar for this. I'm also adding water, and to that I'm going to add the spices. I'm using cinnamon and clove, but you can also use cardamom. And I'm going to cook this on a medium to medium low heat. You don't want to cook it on a too high of a heat, or else the milk is going to burn. You just want the milk to steam. While the milk is heating, we're going to get started on parching the flour. To the pot, she's adding ghee, and we're using animal ghee. You can also use vegetable ghee if you prefer. Next, we're going to let the ghee melt on low heat. Once the ghee has melted, you're going to want to add the flour a little at a time and just stir that in. And the reason why you're doing a little at a time is because you don't want it to become lumpy. And let me warn you beforehand, this recipe requires a lot of stirring. So this is one of those recipes that you need to make sure that all of your ingredients are prepped, because you do not want to walk away from the stove once you start to cook. As someone who is not Hindu, I'm going to explain to you my connection to Parsad. My mom grew up making this, and it was also a treat that was given to us by our Hindu friends who would have celebrations, and they would give you that little sweetmeat package that has the Parsad and the vermicelli. And let me tell you, I always look forward to that little brown paper bag. Now back to the recipe. As you can see, she just kept stirring it until the flour developed this rich dark color and it became really fluffy and smooth and light. And then we're going to add in the milk, and you're only going to add half of the milk at a time. Stir it in, and then you're going to add the other half. And this is one of those recipes that definitely requires patience. You don't want to rush the process because you don't want the flour to burn. You want it to develop this rich, nutty flavor. And as usual, if you're interested in making this recipe, I will have it linked below in the description box, or you can head over to my website, guyanacancook.com, where you will find the full recipe that you're able to print, you're able to pin or save. Once she's added the remainder of the milk, she's just going to stir it until the flour absorbs the milk. Then she's going to add the remainder of the flavorings, and she's adding nutmeg. She's also going to add some vanilla extract, and we have some candied cherries that we've cut in half, and this is optional. You can also add raisins. And then she's going to stir it to make sure all of those flavors are blended throughout the parsad. And that's it. You can eat this at room temperature or warm. I prefer it to be warm. And you guys, the texture is so good. It's just smooth. It melts in your mouth, and it's so rich and nutty and absolutely delicious. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below. If you do try it, share it with me over on Instagram at guyanacancook, and I will see you in the next one.